So now, we did drawing. Library resources for homeschool. Now it's time for me to talk for a while. Because we have so much, and we have so many things that were not specifically designed for homeschoolers, like our library of things, but can be so useful to you. And that's why I had to make a slideshow, keep myself on track. So, the Full Steam Ahead kits, we have tons of these. They are educational materials and toys that you can check out for 2 weeks at a time. And we span from like pre-K, from the launch into learning. So these help teach like preschool skills. There are consumables in the kit, so if you use up the paper, that's fine. When you turn it in, we will refill it for you. So we have those. We go all the way up to high-tech things. Like we have drones and Kamigami robots, makey-makeys. So if you have littles or if you have high schoolers, the Full Steam Ahead collection probably has something that can help you in your homeschool. So you don't have to buy it yourself, you can borrow it.
Are those always like, are they always DVD based and then a kit?
So there's no DVD.
Oh, okay.
This is actually just a display.
Oh, okay. Even better.
We can't put all these out on the shelf. So these are on the shelf. So if you go into any of our 7 libraries and you see these with the green, that means that that kit that's described on the front is there that day. So you can take it home with you.
Okay.
Each library also has a binder, and I didn't bring it in here because every time I take the binder, it's like, hey, do you have that binder? Someone wants to look at it. It's full of all the things that we have throughout the district.
Okay.
So you can bring your kid into the library, say you want to look through the Full Steam Ahead binder and look for something, you can put it on hold.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that also available to put on hold online?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, you can find all of these online too.
Perfect.
There is, on our website, you can go to borrow and then go down to Steam Kits. There's a little drop-down link that says Steam Kits, and it will show you either the Full Steam Ahead collection or the classroom collection that I'll get to in a minute. And then it will take you right to all of the Full Steam Ahead collection that you can put on hold.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. And we have things like, this is Mrs. Wordsmith game. So there's 2 games in this kit. One is for learning phonics, and it actually has 3 levels of phonics in it. And then there's the storytellers, and that is kind of like apples to apples, but with just words. So you're like practicing learning more descriptive words for like saying nice. Yeah. That's, it comes in these boxes.
Very good.
And you can return these to any library.
I just want to say these are freaking amazing. We've been getting these for like a year, and I've basically been able to stop buying toys because they just play with them until they're over it, and then you bring it back and get something new. And there's so, like right now we have Under the Sea and like a cat's one.
Yeah.
Other guy has, but there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do, and they're really cool. They're gonna come in a nice little backpack for you. And
Yeah. The backpack, so we don't have the backpacks, but Coeur d'Alene has those backpacks. So if you have a library card with us, you can also check out the things that Coeur d'Alene has. I don't know all of what they have, but all of that is also available to
The
you.
backpacks
They
are
have
backpacks.
backpacks.
Those backpacks are amazing.
Yeah, my old nanny family got that. They got like a train tote, and I like looked it up, and they have totes for like all kinds of what do you call them? Like children's celebrities, like these puppets that these kids are into and stuff.
Yeah.
The name brand
so
stuff.
like we just got magnet
Different
tiles. They
things.
loved that.
Yeah.
Those are great. That's the beauty of being part of the Cooperative Information Network, that we can get things from Coeur d'Alene as well. So covered that. Okay, another thing that is in the Full Steam Ahead collection that I want you guys to know about is these Yoto players. So if you're trying to get your kids to listen to more stories, get more language in, these are a great way to do it. This is a kit that has cards. It has an info sheet explaining how to use it. It's this little thing. And it has a charger. And then these cards, they just pop into the top. This is our mindfulness one. It basically just has sounds in it. This one is campfire, so if you wanted to do a unit on camping, you could check this out. And you'd be like, we're gonna pretend to camp in the living room and listen to fire. So we can turn it on. If it's charged. These get used so much. I was actually really surprised to find this. Yes.
Can you check out books for those? Because we have some Yoda players.
Oh, I have been talking about that. I was like, can we just get kits that just have the cards? But it turns out it's just more cost effective to just make another kit with a Yoto and put them together. Also, Megan spends a lot of time downloading the cards on
See,
them.
I bought them for a road trip, and I stuck the card in, and it did the cloud thing, and then it disappeared, and I assumed they were all on there. And then I left, and we were in an area where there was literally no phone reception. I'm like, let's turn this on and listen. And it kept saying, have to connect to Wi-Fi. And I was so frustrated because I was told that they run off of no Wi-Fi sometimes. And so.
Yes, it depends.
Okay.
If it's fully downloaded, then it does. I had the same issue on a trip, and I was like, well, this one doesn't work, this one doesn't work, but these three are on here.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
it goes in, and then it makes camping and music sounds. So that's in there. We have several of these that have stories that you will most likely have to put them on hold because they're not very often on the shelf. But we really like them, so we keep trying to make more of those. And then, I think I'm done with Full Steam Ahead. But these are some pictures of some other things in the Full Steam Ahead collection. STEAM kits for home classrooms. For a long time, these were only available to school educators. And I was like, can our homeschoolers have them, please, please, please? And they finally were like, yeah, that's a good idea. So they look like this.
Oh, nice.
It's a tub of fun.
It is a huge thing. I mean, that is why it was meant for the classrooms at first, because it's meant to serve a wide group of kids. You can keep them for 30 days. This is our math kit. So it comes with a game and with books. So this is basically a unit study in a box. We have hand balance, manipulatives, and these historically they haven't been getting used as much as we would like. So don't be shy about asking for them. The same place that you go to find the STEAM kits on the website, go to borrow, go down to STEAM kits. On that same page, there's the Full Steam Ahead, and then on the other side it says Classroom STEAM kits. That's where you would go to request these. It's a special request process because we don't have that many of them, so it's not just by regular checkout. So this is math, but that's not all we have.
I'm sorry, I have a question on those. Could the checkout process be done, like if we came in that day and it happens to be here in the library, we take it home that day, or is it more
What happens is our youth services specialist, Kelsey, is kind of in charge of these.
Okay.
And so the request goes directly to her.
Okay.
And then she figures out where these boxes need to be.
Okay.
And then they get put on hold for you, just like any other hold at the library, and then you can pick them up when they're
Would you need to
available.
pre-plan that?
Hmm?
Would you need to pre-plan that then?
You would need to use the request form on the website.
All right.
And then, yeah, it would be planned, but it's not like I would have to hand it to you.
Right.
It would just be there with your name on it. So one of them that we have is marble mazes in construction. There's our math and measurements kit, like what I have right here. Building circuits, laser pens and engineering. Virtual and augmented realities, there's an Osmo kit in there. Spirograph for stop motion, animation, and patterns. CodeBot, so this is stuff that maybe your kids are interested in it, but you don't want to sink $200 into it and then them go like, oh, okay, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
These are great. Magnets, Bloxels, this is for, you can use this for art and also for video game making. A lot of young kids just like using the little bricks to make pictures. Natural hazards, biology. We have these kits that you can fill with, where are they? Oh, we may have gotten rid of those. We have this stuff on here. For a while, we had some things where you could like fill it with gel and pretend to dissect it. I don't see them on this kit. Maybe we'll get those back. But we have microscopes, models, and now we're at the library of things. Unless anyone had any more questions on the classroom kits. Yes.
Are those all listed on the website so you can see what there is to choose from? Okay.
Yes. So same place. There's 2 links for the classroom kits. It will say request form and PDF, so you can look.
Okay.
And we've just recently have been going through these and figuring out what's missing from them. So like this one has a list of things that are missing from it. So that's another reason why it's a special process, is that we often get these back and there will be extra stuff that we're like, this doesn't belong to us. Or stuff will be missing and we're like, okay, now we gotta do some maintenance. That's why it's not in the whole, because it's too complicated. So library of things, we have lots of different things. So if your kids are like, I want to do an elective on candy making, we have candy molds. They want to try out photography, we have some cameras. Sewing machine, like if you want to just try sewing a little pillow, but you don't want to have a spot in your house to keep a sewing machine forever, we've got one. We also have just a little sewing kit. Like, I can't list everything that we have.
There's a
but
telescope too.
There's a telescope, there's a
saw a metal
projector, I
detector.
think, of some sort
there is.
that projects something.
Yep.
Yes.
How long can you check out things from the library of things? Because I see a rock tumbler there, and like if you're taking a rock and turning it into a shiny gem, you need like a month to take a while.
We had to adjust the checkout period for the rock tumbler. The general checkout period is 2 weeks, but obviously you can't actually correctly tumble a rock in 2 weeks. So that kit is an exception, but for most of the kits, it's a 2-week checkout.
Thank you.
How do we check out these things?
Those things are on our website. So
Okay,
you
what do
can
I-
search
I'm on
library
it
of
right now, how do I
things.
search?
Yeah.
Library of things?
Library of things. So you just go to our catalog, put in library of things, and it will pop up with lots of different things that you could check out.
The first time that you check out a Library of Things kits, you as the adults will need to sign a form because there's like pokey things like a sewing machine. We do ask that there's like that a grown, like someone that's over 18 signs a form that says like, yes, we'll be responsible and not poke ourselves with the thingy. And if we do, we're not gonna hold the library responsible. But then once you sign that once, it goes onto your library card. So you'll not have to sign it every time. It's just that like first time checkout, then we have a record of that.
Yes, because we're checking
If you're
out
on-
real tools.
If you're on their website, if you go to that 3-bar drop-down list,
Mhm.
it actually says Library of Things.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And is this something, again, that would need to be pre-planned in order to make these at?
It depends,
Oh, okay.
because, so, just like the Full Steam Ahead collection, we have library of things.
Okay.
So I just grabbed this one today. I didn't bring the whole box with me. It was a big old binder thingy. But we have these at Post Falls on that little display next to the computers there. So if this is here in the library, then the thing it goes with can go home with you.
Okay.
And these are at all 7 libraries as well. Plus, there is a binder at each library that describes what we have.
Okay.
Any other questions? Oh, yes,
We
you.
have quite a few outdoor things too, like, I know I think we were the first people to check out the Frisbee golf, which is amazing, by the way.
Oh, good.
The big one? You
Yes.
said, I fought for that one. I'm glad you
Thank you for fighting for it.
Yes.
So they have a lot of, like the binoculars and stuff too, like, it's not just inside, so don't wait till like winter when you're like, oh, we have lots of indoor things, like, do it now, because there's lots of outdoor things too.
That's so true. We have a thing in the Full Steam Ahead collection called like the mud kit. I'm sure it's Megan's favorite. It comes back messy often, but it's all about exploring the puddles and the mud and the dirt. We have a slackline kit, so you can stretch it between 2 trees and balance. And we have these backpacks, I think. They are actually backpacks that we have that are full of like nature exploration, like trees and leaves and flowers. So yeah, we have a lot of outdoor stuff too, because hey, we're in North Idaho, we like to be outside sometimes. Any other questions on Library of Things? No? Okay. Interlibrary loans. So this wasn't developed for homeschool either, but it's for everybody, and it's super useful for homeschoolers because sometimes there is a book that maybe was written 35, 50 years ago, and you're like, it's not available at my library, but maybe it is available in this tiny library in New York or something. We can get it. So that's through a process. If you log into your account, you can go to request interlibrary loan, you put in the title, the author, when it was published, and the interlibrary loan system, I believe Nathan handles all those requests, and he searches for the book, tries to find it for you. If he does, then it comes here, you check it out. There's a special timeline for returning it because we have to have a agreement with the other library for when it needs to get back. And then you have to bring it back to the library where you checked it out from. But it can be very useful for finding hard to find materials. Language learning, we have a bunch of language things. So if you have a kid who wants to learn Spanish and you don't want to pay for a big curriculum, we have Mango that you can use with your library card. Has several different languages on it. Pronunciator is awesome. You don't have to use your library card to sign in. You just log on.
Do you know if you have Pimsleur?
I don't think I have Pimsleur.
Oh, that's not
good.
good for languages.
Yeah, good. Pronunciator is something I've used for ASL because it has videos, so that's handy. And Talking Book Service for anybody who has trouble with operating regular audiobooks if they have visual impairments. And we have our homeschool resources page. Have any of you checked out our homeschool resources page? Yes? Yes? Okay, if you go to communitylibrary.net, then go to youth services and scroll down to teacher and homeschool resources, you'll see a link to the homeschool programs and resources page. We have tips for getting started, finding a homeschool co-op, blogs, printables, different kinds of curriculum. There's just so many links on there. So you could probably spend a whole evening with some tea looking at all the things we have there. Homeschool exchange shelves, we have one here in Post Falls in the children's area. It's the middle shelf by the windows. There's one in Hayden, it's close to the fireplace. And we have one in Harrison also that's near the young adult section. So if you have something that you're no longer using, you can turn it in, and anything that's in the bins you can take with you. Programs. So nothing is final yet. I know.
Hello.
Welcome. Take a seat in one of those chairs. I'll finish up my talk pretty soon. Nothing, yes.
Can I ask one question before we move on?
Of course.
With the kits, since we need to sign the 18 and over waiver, does that check out on our library card then, not our students?
I believe that when you sign that initial form, you as the adult or the guardian can list minor library cards that can also check library of things items out.
Okay.
If a minor comes up to the front desk with a library of things thing that I want to check this out, if there's not an adult that's given them permission, they won't be allowed to check it out. But if an adult has given them permission when the adult signed that form, the child will be able to check it out.
Okay, cool, good to know, thank you.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I was going to add too. Sorry, I'm obsessed with this because we did this last year. It was my first year, like kind of starting to homeschool, but their website's so easy to use. So what I would do is I would go like, on a Friday or whatever, the weekend before the week started, and I could look in my curriculum and see what books we were going to read for that week, and then you can just go on the website, put a hold on each one of those books, and then make it exciting because lots of people have little kids. Well, what do you want to play with this week? Put a kit on hold, and then you can just come in Monday morning with your kids. They get their library time, and you go over to the shelf, and they have everything for your lessons ready for you for the week. So it's just very efficient. So I just want to share that with you. It makes things way easier for us, and they get super excited about getting to look through the website and choose what they want to do. And
That's fun. Okay.
that's it. I love holds.
Holds is awesome. I used holds before I worked at the library. I would be filling up a section like this big.
Yeah.
The whole shelf. I'm so sorry. They're like, no, circulation loves it. Please use holes. All right, program. So I was saying nothing is set in stone because we're just in the process of planning for fall. As a homeschooler, I like to plan like my whole year. I saw somebody said have 90% of your homeschool year planned before the school year starts. That is me. I'm like, I know what I'm doing from now till like January. And so I know what I want to do for you guys, but I still have to work with my coworkers and figure everything out. I'll give you a little preview of what I'm hoping to do. Think, Make, Create. This is a program that I started in the spring, and the kids 10 and up for a while had been asking, like, can we have a program where there's not little kids running around and we can like focus on what we want to make? It's like, okay, I will try. So I'm planning to do it monthly in Hayden during the preschool story time, so that if you have younger kids and you have older kids, there's something for both of them. It's an art and engineering program. So what I have done in the past is I said, well, here's an engineering challenge. Here's a whole bunch of materials. Go. And they're like, do we have to do the challenge? No, this is your time. You get to create, you get to make. But if you want to do the challenge, it's pretty cool. We have done things like tried to make a propeller airplane that runs on a battery. And the kids spent a long time trying to figure out how to get it all connected and then seeing, well, can it actually fly? Can it move on this pipe cleaner? So they get to use their critical thinking and their creativity. So kids who like art like it, kids who like engineering, pretty much they like it. And they asked me to do it again and again. So we did it 3 times. So I'm gonna bring that back. I partner with Gizmo CDA to get some really cool kits. Think, Make, Create is actually their, it came from them. So I didn't name it. That's the name of the bins that I borrow from them to do the really high interest engineering projects. Homeschool Laboratory. This is one of my favorites. I love doing science, I love doing art, and I love doing technology with the kids. This is an all ages program, so if you have babies up through like 10, we can do something. So I usually have toys that are available for little babies, toys that are appropriate for preschoolers, and then activities at different levels for the older kids. We rotate through science, art, and technology so that if you have a kid who's like, I only care about art, it's like, well, every couple of weeks we're gonna focus on art, but there might be a little science in it too. And when it's science, it's like, okay, we're gonna do a cool science thing, but there might be a little art in it also. So I try to get something that all the kids like to do, and they tend to have a great time, and I love it. And we do technology. I partner with Nick and Chris from Emerging Technology to do cool things. We have done, let's see, we did stop motion animation. That was so much fun. And I will be doing Homeschool Laboratory Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at Hayden, and then Post Falls, and then Raptor, in that order. I have my programs already on the website because, again, I plan way ahead, but that might change. So the Homeschool Laboratory is also hosted at Athol, Spear Lake, Pinehurst, and Harrison, but check your local library for the events because I'm not doing those programs. I just create them, and then the librarians there put them on. Yeah?
It's Wednesdays and
Wednesday afternoons in Hayden, and Friday mornings in Rathdrum. Those are the same times that I did last year, so I try to keep it the same. Yeah.
You're gonna do that going into the next semester.
Yes, I figured it was working well, so I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Put stuff on Wednesday, I just wanna like not do it.
I know, that's how we plan ahead for how the homeschool year is gonna look.
Same time?
Same time.
Do you know
I kept same days, same times, and I reserved the spaces already.
Do you have the time?
The times, let me do it in my head.
Sorry.
So, you'll have to double check, but Hayden will be from 1 to 2 in the afternoon on Wednesdays. Post Falls will be from 10 to noon. It will be 2 sessions, but it's kind of a drop-in style. So we start at, it was 10, we go to 10:45. Then I reset if there's like a project that we're doing that needs to be reset. And then we start again at 11:15 and go to noon.
So it's really 2 sessions of
It's
the
2
same
sessions,
material
yes.
and the same lesson.
Right, because
Okay.
we had so many people coming here to Post Falls that the parents were stressed, the kids were stressed, and I was stressed. I was like, I need more of me. I don't want there to be less of you. I just need you to come at like staggered times.
Okay.
So, you know, if your kid doesn't want to get up out of bed right away, you can come at the 11:15. It's all right.
Is that something that we need to sign up for in advance, or is it a cost?
I tried registration in the spring to have people like sign up, but then I had people who were like, well, I didn't register, so I didn't show up. And I'm like, no, I want you to come. So I just kind of play it by ear because I can change it on the website if I need to. If we get 60, 70 people coming on Thursdays, then I'll start going, okay, you need to register again. But when I asked for registration, my numbers went way down. And I don't want to create barriers to you guys coming and doing fun things with your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, let's see, what else? Any other questions on that? Because I think I'm done. Oh, wait, the times. Raft room,
Yeah.
11 to noon.
And that's, you said.
That's the only one that has a time change.
Change, yeah.
Raft room, I know, I keep changing things on you guys. So I chose 11 to noon because Raft room opens at 10. And I was like, well, I could do 10:30 to 11:30 like I have been, but remembering things on the half hour is hard, right? We only have so much brain power and we're already giving so much into homeschooling. So 11 to 12 on Fridays. Yeah.
We always be doing the same thing within a week, so like, if for some reason we can't go on a Wednesday to our home library, it'll be the same thing at Rathrum.
Absolutely, yes. Now, that the other libraries, Spirit Lake, Pinehurst, Harrison, Apple, thank you, they might be doing something different, even in the same week, because they get a kit instead. But Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's the same program.
And you're hosting it at each of those 3 locations, Hayden, Post Falls, Rathrum?
Yes. Okay. And then these are some subjects that I was thinking I would do this fall. I want to talk about, kids have been asking for animals. So I was like, okay, we could do zoology and taxonomy. Let's get nerdy, guys. So I have taxonomy up there. Origami, virtual reality, bones, 8-bit art, coding, button making. Those are just a few of the things that I have planned.
Button making?
Button making, we have a button maker. And so the kids can draw what they want on their button, and we put it in the machine, and we let the kids pull the lever, and it stamps it, and then they can wear it. Wow! Yeah.
It's also a pain in the butt to figure out.
There's one of those in Library of Things as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pain in the butt to figure it out. So it's very difficult to figure out.
Like a button on your shirt.
No, yeah, not like a button to like hold your shirt closed, like a fun button.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking like a clay, you'd push clay onto a mold. That's what I was thinking of button making, like for sure, yeah.
No,
Okay.
but I mean,
Now it makes sense.
I don't blame you. I wouldn't count it out. Yes.
What is 8-bit art?
8-bit art is like old style Mario, like the old video game art
It's
where
like
they had to
using
use
blocks,
little pixels.
using squares
So,
to make
like-
pictures.
Bloxels uses 8-bit art, so.
So it's where you draw and then you scan it or something and you have a video game? Is that what I'm thinking of?
So what I'm actually planning for that particular program is the kids will like draw pictures on graph paper and then we'll make perler bead art.
Oh.
Because perler beads uses the same system as 8-bit art. You have to put it one little peg at a time to create your picture. So it's art and it's math at the same time. Don't tell them it's math, it's art.
That's Stevie.
So we're gonna do it all the time. And then I do monthly themed parties. This is a party that I travel around the different libraries. I do one a month. I try to make them really cool. Sometimes they're at Post Falls, sometimes they're at Hayden, sometimes out at Ethel. It just depends. These were the things I was thinking I would do. We're gonna do the back to school / not back to school party again. We did one last year, it was a lot of fun. And I'm thinking a Wayside School theme this time. Fall themed craft sometime in October. Escape rooms in November. The last time I had an escape room, people really liked it. I had a lot. So we'll try doing that again. And then in December, I was thinking about doing a kid-made craft fair. Wow. My kids did one years ago at Hayden, and they loved it. They planned for it. They were making necklaces for like a month before it happened. And then they basically just traded stuff with other kids and had a great time.
Is this like an email newsletter? Do you? Oh, thank you for mentioning that.
I have a newsletter.
On a more regular basis. That's it.
So I have a monthly newsletter that I send out that I put on all the events that I'm doing, plus I highlight some other events that my coworkers are doing that I think, hey, you guys will probably like this, and other resources that might be useful or events that are coming up. So if you would like to be on my newsletter, you can just write down your email today and I will add you, your name and your email. You can also sign up on our website. Yeah.
Have you sent out any emails over the summer? Because I signed up like in May or June and I haven't gotten anything. I just want to
You
confirm.
should have gotten them for June and July.
Okay.
It's possible I have your email wrong. So if you give it to me again today, I'll check it. Yes. And then this is new. This is my new crazy idea. Story gamers. So we've been trying to do book clubs at the library and it just hasn't been working. Kids like just are not interested. Parents are not interested. They want to read what they want to read. But I was thinking about this. My kids used to love going to story time, but then they got too old for it and it got awkward. They're like, well, we like the stories, but everyone else is younger and it's weird. And we don't want to do the dancing and clapping. So this is what I was thinking for a big kid story time. So for your kids who have kind of outgrown story time, they could come, we'll read a picture book still, because picture books are not the problem. They're awesome. And we have a limited amount of time to read anyway. So we'll do a picture book and we'll use that picture book to talk about sophisticated story concepts like tone, setting, mood, character, conflict. And I'm planning to do it here at Post Falls in this room or in the children's room, depending on if I have the space or not, because someone might have to jockey things around. And I'm going to do it at the same time as the preschool story time, so that again, if you have different ages, one wants to go to the preschool story time and one wants to go to the big kid one, they're both there. We're going to read a picture book and then play a game, and then at the end have time to like write a story if they want. So if they're inspired to like, oh, I want to write a story that's kind of like the one we just read, they can do that. So because it's new and weird, I'm going to real quickly go through what it might look like. So how would story gamers work? We can take any fiction text and apply story concepts to it. So I chose Kitten's First Full Moon. I love it. Kevin Henkes is awesome. But it also works really well with the Story Core 3. Who is the main character? What do they want? And why can't they have it? So who are they? A kitten. That's going to be really easy for the kids to answer. Or they might say, a white kitten. Okay. A little kitten, a very young kitten. What do they want? Milk. Searching for milk. And probably the kids will say, cats aren't supposed to drink milk. And I say, oh yeah, you're so right. We can talk a little bit about science and why cats shouldn't drink milk. But this cat wants milk. And why can't they have it? That's up for interpretation. That's where we're going to talk about, like, is it because the cat left home and the milk is at home? My child is spying on me. And, or is it because the cat keeps getting tricked and the cat is so young that they don't know the moon isn't milk? And then we'll play games like, I have Nano Fictionary, which is a game where that has story elements on cards, and you get your random story elements, and then you have to try to tell a story with those elements. Or Dixit is another great one because you have pictures, so they don't have to be able to read, and someone picks a word like dark, and then the kids look at their cards and go, oh, which one looks the most dark, and they put it in. So it's kind of like thinking about synonyms, but with pictures. So it's story related. So we'll play a game, and then they'll have the opportunity to write if they want to. Or we can do another game like brainstorming characters, brainstorm things they might want, brainstorm reasons that they couldn't have it, and then say, okay, now try to write a quick little story about that. So hopefully they can go home with a book. So this is totally new, and I don't know how it will work or if your kids will like it, but I'll try. So we'll have paper crayons and staplers so they can make books to take home.